Hello everyone, I am Dr. Donald Ozello of Championship Chiropractic in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to today's episode of Dr. Ozello's Sports Medicine Report. Today I'm going to be covering external rotation of the shoulder, how to improve external rotation motion, function, and strength. Now you may be asking yourself, what exactly is shoulder external rotation? When we have the shoulder in a neutral position, when our arms are hanging down, the thumb is facing forward. So when we turn the shoulder so that the thumb is facing to the outside, that is external rotation. Internal rotation is just the opposite, where we turn so that our thumb is facing inwards and even backwards. That is internal rotation. External rotation, when we're in neutral, the thumb is facing the ceiling, and when we turn the shoulder, the palm is facing upwards and the thumb is facing posterior. That is external rotation of the shoulder. And internal rotation is just the opposite. This is internal rotation. So we have neutral, external rotation, and internal rotation. And then when we have the shoulder abducted to 90 degrees, external rotation is doing this motion right here. Internal rotation is coming back here like this. So again, this is the neutral position, and we have shoulder external rotation. So I'm going to be going over 3 movements that you can do. One is a motion exercise that can be also used as a strengthening exercise. The second one is also a motion exercise that can be used as a strengthening exercise. And the third one is a stretch that you can do to help to improve your shoulder range of motion and your shoulder function. In the first exercise, in all the exercises, you always want to use good technique. You want to make sure that you are standing in good posture. You want to have your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You want to have your knees bent slightly. You never want to have your knees locked. Just have them bent very, very slightly. You want to make sure that your pelvis is level and that your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. You're going to have your arms hanging down by your side. You're going to flex your core muscles, and you want to hold this position throughout the entire exercise so that you're maintaining good posture. Now once you get into the good posture, you want to, on this one, you're keeping your upper arms by your side. You're going to flex the elbows to 90 degrees, and you are going to supinate the forearms. Supination means that the palm is facing upwards. So you're standing in a good position. Remember to retract the scapulas, and you are going to slowly, through a pain-free range of motion, externally rotate the shoulders while keeping the upper arms against the body. Again, you keep the upper arms against the trunk, and you externally rotate the shoulders through a pain-free range of motion. This aspect of the exercise is a motion exercise. And once you're able to build up to 15 repetitions and you feel that you can do a full range, then you can use this as a strengthening exercise. And what you can do is you have a resistance band and you hold it between both hands. You get into the good position again, and you have a little bit of resistance when the hands are right here, and then you externally rotate. And you could do it one side at a time with just some slight resistance. Again, you don't want to use a lot of resistance, just real slight. This is going to help to strengthen the muscles that externally rotate the shoulder. Those muscles are the infraspinatus and the teres minor, and then switch and work both sides. And you want to, again, use good technique. You don't want to be cheating when you're doing this or doing this, turning the body. Just keep yourself in a good position. And if you're doing the resistance bands one arm at a time, right now I'm working the right arm, nice and slow. And then you could also do it where you have a resistance band or a cable connected to a sturdy structure. And you do this. So it works really well. great exercise to help to increase range of motion, external rotation in the shoulder, and to strengthen the external rotators of the shoulder. The second exercise is also a standing exercise. You could do this one seated, but I think it works a lot better when you are standing. This is called shoulder external rotation with the shoulders abducted to 90 degrees. Abduction is the shoulder motion where we bring the shoulders out to the side. Right now, this is 0 degrees of abduction. This is 90. And then way up here, this is 180 degrees of abduction. So this exercise is performed with the arms at 90 degrees of abduction. So the upper arm is basically parallel to the floor. And you want to hold that position throughout the exercise. Don't let the arms fall down. Don't shrug and cheat, try to hold them up. Keep the keep the shoulders so they're not shrugged, and just do the abduction. Also, you want to make sure that you keep the upper arms in the same plane as the spine. You don't want the arms coming forward. So we're going to be in this position right here. You don't want the arms coming forward. Just hold them just like that. So again, you want to be in a good posture, just like I described on the first exercise. The feet are slightly wider than shoulder width. The knees are bent. You flex the core muscles. You abduct the shoulders to 90 degrees, and you retract the scapulas. So the inside lower borders of the scapulas are being pinched towards the spine, being pinched towards each other. Bend the elbows, and then this is your starting position. Your palms are down, so the forearms are in a pronated position. Hold the starting position, and then work through that pain-free range of motion. And again, remember to keep the upper arm 90 degrees. Keep the shoulder abducted to 90 degrees and keep the upper arm parallel to the floor. Work through that pain-free range of motion. If you cannot go all the way up to the top, then don't do it. Just work through that pain-free range of motion. If you can get right here, then just do that for right now. And each time you do it, your motion should increase very, very slightly. Build up to 15 repetitions. Once you have mastered that, then you can do it with some slight resistance, where you have a resistance band and you're doing this type of motion right here. This is also the final step in one of my favorite exercises that I teach patients for the shoulder, called the reverse pitch. I have another video on that. If you want to check that one out, I will put a link to that video after this video. But this is standing external rotation with the shoulders abducted to 90 degrees. The third exercise that I'm going to go over today for the shoulder external rotators is a static stretch. Just like all other static stretches, you want to move into it nice and slow and hold a mild, comfortable stretch. You can hold a stretch anywhere from 5 seconds up to 120 seconds. This stretch that I'm going to be demonstrating is an advanced stretch. You have to be able to do the first 2 movements that I described before you attempt to do this static stretch. Now, just like in the other motions, you're going to be standing in good posture. On this one, you use a stick. This is an old broomstick. It's nice and light, and obviously it is long enough so it's going to allow me to do this stretch. So what you want to do, you're working one side at a time. We're going to work the right-hand side. You want to abduct the shoulder to 90 degrees, and you want to keep the upper arm in the same plane as the spine, and you want to keep the upper arm parallel to the floor. The wrist is going to be bent slightly just so you can hold the stick behind your forearm, and the stick is also held parallel to the forearm. So this is your starting position. And then you take the opposite hand and you reach down at the bottom of the stick and you pull the bottom of the stick towards you, and this stretches the shoulder into external rotation. And you hold a mild, comfortable stretch for anywhere from 5 seconds to 120 seconds. So again, you get in the correct posture You're standing up nice and straight. The shoulder is in the same plane as the spine, and the shoulder is abducted to 90 degrees. Grab the bottom of the stick with the opposite hand and slowly pull the bottom of the stick forward, and that helps to bring the shoulder into external rotation. And again, I repeat myself because it's very important, hold a mild, comfortable stretch. I'm going to repeat with the left side. You always want to do both sides. So we're standing in good posture. And you may want to do this one in front of the mirror just so you get it perfectly. I always do this one in front of the mirror just so that I make sure that I'm doing everything properly. Again, pull the bottom part of the stick nice and slow so you're getting a stretch, and hold a mild, comfortable, static stretch. It's going to help to increase the motion going into external rotation. Thank you, everyone, for viewing today's episode of Dr. Ozello Sports Medicine Report. I am Dr. Donald Ozello of Championship Chiropractic in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am the author of Running, Maximize Performance, and Minimize Injuries. Please feel free to visit my website, championshipchiropractic.com, where you can get additional information on the book, and you could connect with me on other social media platforms. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube page, Dr. Donald A. Ozello, DC. That's the page that this video is on. Every Thursday, I publish Dr. Ozello Sports Medicine Report. Also, if you have feedback, suggestions, comments, or questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Always remember, train hard, train smart, stay injury-free, and accomplish your goals.